Sure
All
rolling.
right. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Shandtastrophe. We are working out the kinks and the bugs and all kinds of random shit here. Eventually, we'll get it all fine-tuned and working right. Maybe might have to play with the sizing of this a little bit. Either way, once my PC gets here, I'll have more resources available and I'll be able to make this look a lot better. But we wanted to get the ball rolling on it and get something moving on the podcast concept before we ran out of time and talking about this for like over a year. So on the far left of the screen, you have Mr. Flying Dingo himself, one of the inaugural members of Shan Squad. We have right next to him Mr. Joe, aka Kai, aka Fafel, aka
Lawful
Mr.
man.
3D printer extraordinaire, aka don't ask him about his day because I promise you it was worse than yours. Yeah. Next to him we have Donnie, the DM master himself, Mr. Krigsgott. I probably said that wrong, but oh well, eat shit. Technically, the founder of the word Shand. The reason the word Shand exists in the first place. And then there's me. Hi. And then we have Books down in the lower left corner here. Bookaholic. You'll see her pop into the chats all the time. She is an absolute bookaholic. The librarian herself making mac and cheese or some shit. I don't know. She's getting some food and then she'll be here in a minute. The fancy gray square right in the middle here is Sir Pat. I don't even know like any other nicknames we could give this guy, but like the mathematician.
Who, what, when, where, why?
The mathematician. We'll just call him the math master.
No. Oh my god. The
He's
meth
the
master?
He's the math rock addict.
Math rock addict.
Yep.
The master mather, because it sounds like I don't know, but that's Pat. Collectively, probably knows
do
more
have a
than
master-
a lot of us.
I have a master's degree in mathematics. However, calling me the math master right now, this week particularly, I'm a little kicked in the gut.
Got it. The
I'll just
most
say that.
recent
Like
DM from the one shot that almost killed us put a tentacle into Dingo and Joe's nose and almost put one inside me, Pat, in the middle here.
Yes.
We may or may not see some camera footage. It depends.
Nose is only in one case.
Nose is only in one case. Oh, that's right. Because Joe had the magic super strong nose that was like, fuck you. And then all the way over here on the right, we have Dynamike, aka No Kill Kendrick. I don't have any other names for him, but he's around here somewhere. He probably went up to go get himself a drink after realizing none of us had time for his bullshit. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll work on the intros later on. There he is. There's Pat, looking all professional and shit. So yeah, it's
Holy
E3
shit,
weekend.
This is professional.
So we had E3 kickoff this weekend with Summer Game Fest starting on Thursday. I called out of work for multiple reasons, and that happened to be one of them. All kinds of other random shit is going on in the world. Does anyone have anything they really want to bring up at all to kick off? No? Negative? Don't all speak at once? All right, cool.
Pigeons are fake.
Streaming's hard.
Oh,
Streaming is hard. Yeah, it's not easy. I did want to bring up, though, Donnie brought something up in the pre-show about Corsair and its stocks. So we're going to talk about a little bit of everything on this show. It'll cover everything from random ass, we are not financial professionals, nor do we claim to be experts in the field, but we listen to a lot of shit and we pay attention. So Donnie did bring up Corsair stocks, maybe the next stock to be paying attention to. Why is that? What do you got?
Well, so I stumbled across this while scrolling through Wall Street Bets. If you don't know what that is, I recommend you stay far, far away if you like your money.
Stay far away.
They
further
are,
away than Dawn says.
they are, I believe, self-described as if 4chan found a Wall Street terminal. And
Okay.
they are meme lords who like stocks and gain and, most importantly, lose fortunes overnight.
Now, these are the folks that kicked off the whole GameStop AMC run, right?
Yeah, these are those guys. They're
Got
the
it.
ones who are making nonsense stocks skyrocket to the moon and making fortunes on it.
Pissing
Also
off a
Stocks that
lot of
should suck.
politicians.
Also, and I cannot stress this enough, losing fortunes on it. And I
Yeah.
was just trolling through their chat, and somebody brought up one of the stocks that group is watching is Corsair. If you
Okay.
don't know Corsair, they make PC gaming peripherals. They make mice and keyboards. They make headsets. I'm wearing a Corsair headset myself at the moment.
They make internal components as well. The RAM that's coming in my PC whenever it decides to finally fucking show up is Corsair.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. It's showing up. This one's showing up.
We'll
Power
see.
supplies. Corsair
We'll
is also
see.
known for power supplies.
Oh, I like it. I like it, Dingo. I want it. You told me not to
Corsair.
buy
Sure
one.
enough, yeah.
I think I
Corsair
need
is
to.
also Elgato and a couple of other subsidiary companies. So basically, if you're into PC gaming, if you're into streaming, you probably know who Corsair is. So I got looking at this and started doing some of the fundamentals as far as I know how to do on this company, and I think that Wall Street Bets may have accidentally stumbled across a halfway decent stock.
Now, why is it?
Corsair,
How much is it at right now?
they're
32.
trading
'Cause I'm broke.
trading at $32.35. $32.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What do they have coming out
That's
that's-
actually pretty cheap.
Yeah. So, like, what's making them about to fucking skyrocket, or is this one of those long-term investment kind of things?
Oh,
It's-
Corsair's a
it's-
long term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the middle. It's in the middle right now because if the meme lords get a hold of it, it could skyrocket. You don't
That's
know,
true.
and I don't know, and nobody on the planet knows when the next thing is going to take off.
So there was a
That's
thing
a
on YouTube,
dynamical
bro.
system question.
There's a thing on what?
What the dynamical systems of the stock market?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stock
Right.
market
I told
is,
you I told you I'd bring math into this.
God
and-
damn it!
Math is a
found a way.
dynamical system.
So
there are some
Yeah, I can
statistics
always
and
find a
stuff-
way.
There are
So-
some
Oh no, the
statistics and stuff that
dynamical
you can look
systems.
at.
DIs are getting bigger than they've ever been right now, obviously with the lack of GPUs, the lack fuck pretty much everything, right? There's a lot of companies that are straight building pretty much a Corsair PC. There's nothing accessory wise, fan wise, anything other than Corsair. I believe you can actually order PCs from Corsair now. They only have like 3. But if
Corsair's
they
been doing-
continue, go ahead.
Processors?
Full
No.
computer.
Corsair's
they
doing
don't
a
make-
processor?
Yeah, they don't.
No,
make
you can do
processors
full
yet.
build PCs.
Yeah.
So they're sourcing
own
other
a-
people's processors
Okay,
to build their PCs
Okay.
with their components.
all right, got it.
Right.
Corsair's not building a processor. That's
Not yet.
No,
that would be
no.
interesting.
That would be
if
exciting.
Corsair started building a processor, I was going to be very excited and skeptical, and then I would be
RGB
talking to
fucking
Don.
processor.
It would be nice though to have a third option as opposed to just AMD or Intel to be able to.
Yeah, that's actually exactly where I was going. Is somebody else trying to get into the biopic? of
Because
those two.
almost
Right now would be a
6
bad
years
time to get
ago-
into it.
Well, 6 years ago we had
That'd be
something kind of similar.
Any
to the
time is a
shortage.
bad time.
Yeah. But about
Yeah.
6 years ago, I think we had 5 companies that were actually making processors, but they were
Mm-hmm.
3 bullshit companies, and then you had AMD, which was
AMD
the new
and
guy
Intel.
who was making horrible processors. They were baseline, and everyone was like, they're not going to really go anywhere. And then now,
Now they're the
What
leader
What
of the pack.
AMD did was they
Right.
they made a retail processor versus a processing processor, and that got them in the door.
They got 'em in the
looking for
door,
somebody to
and
break up
now-
the duo.
Yeah.
They've barricaded the
I'm
door
re-
and they're not letting anybody else in.
Well, that's what everyone does.
Yeah.
You always pull up the ladder.
Oh yeah. So Corsair might be the next stock to to watch. Mike, were you done?
It
I'm
will be.
sorry. You had a
No,
thought
yeah,
that
yeah.
you were.
So I mean, where I was going with it is, if they continue and follow the same path as, say, iBuyPower, right?
Right.
Cyber Power, something like that, dude.
Or hell, if they partner with one of them.
No,
Exactly.
they have a company. They have a PC company that they're building through.
They do. They have three. What is it? 3 PCs out right now, Dingo?
Let me look it up right now so I can
It's
give
like
you
a
an idea of what they
low, mid, high, I think, something
Right.
like that.
so.
Expensive as all
Budget.
hell.
Decent, full fucking bore.
Right. And if they do jump on the
yeah,
bandwagon and start
it's
making
Origin.
full cuts, Origin.
Yeah. So
Okay, Origin's not a bad
is-
company.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
They could blow
All
up.
right.
So
For
the
sure.
former founder of Alienware
Gotcha.
and some
Corsair
of the,
PCs coming to a Best Buy near you.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Because
Yep.
Alien really did, like, it's a total build of everybody else's stuff.
Right. And Alienware is the one that kind of brought it to the public of gaming PCs, specific entertainment computers. Prior to that, it was, hey, I have this computer and it happens to run Crysis.
To the public market. I mean,
Right.
people did that to the like enterprise market for a long time, but
Oh yeah,
Alienware
you could build that shit
really
yourself
said,
with
like,
stuff from
let's go. Oh, like the enterprise market, like businesses, you could always say, I want this setup
right
for everything.
for my
and there was a
entire
company for that.
company's PCs.
Alien
Give me
saw
this.
that Alien saw that there was a market for, like, let's take that to the users who aren't building their own.
Right.
Yeah.
And they really
so
hammered that market.
guy
It was beautiful.
Founded Origin,
Beautiful.
and Corsair is now partnered with Origin to make Corsair PCs. Corsair
So Don,
owning
your market?
Elgato, Scuff, fucking all kinds of other online geared towards this new streaming market boom. Donnie, I think you might have stumbled onto something awesome here. I kind of want to keep an eye on it, see where it goes.
I'm looking at it. This may be a buy for me on Monday. Just looking at the fundamentals, it's a profitable company. They're pulling in the hundreds of millions of dollars in profit every year.
Every fucking year.
They've got extremely good free cash flow.
Well, yeah, Corsair's that.
Yeah, you're looking at 28
Corsair's
million in
a solid
19.
company.
Yeah,
You're
the
looking at
R&D team's insane.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that, I'm not sure whether it's accidental or not, but this is a company you could watch it for the potential pop off, which I think is, you're a little bit crazy if you're trying to invest around those. But if you're looking at, that longer term investment potential, this is also a strong contender in that realm as well.
Gotcha. Speaking of pop-offs and things that are about to change the face of the world that they're in.
Are you pouring some pop-off?
Starfield.
Are we about to talk about
from
my
Bethesda
second? Oh, that's
is an Xbox exclusive.
It is.
Xbox and PC exclusive. No PlayStation, no Nintendo, no fucking whatever else comes out. Holy shit. This game has been in the works and something that people have been talking about for how long now? It feels like a decade.
Are they only releasing on those platforms, or are those the platforms
Only.
that are
Xbox and PC only.
It's not exactly surprising. It's quicker than I would have thought that they would start cornering the exclusives with Bethesda. But the fact is that Microsoft spent a boatload of money to acquire Bethesda. The fact is that it surprises absolutely nobody that they're going to make them a first-party exclusive game maker.
Well, I find it interesting that Mr. Phil Spector, the Lord and Savior of Xbox, even came out and said, we have no intention of taking all these Bethesda games and making them exclusives. Like, oh, hi, puppy. We have a puppy now.
Yeah,
7.5 billion.
you can say things in public. You don't mean them.
Right. That's true. But I just find it interesting that the
I'm
first major release
okay.
from this acquisition of a beloved game developer, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, fucking that's the two that I know. I'm sure there's more.
Let's look at what he actually said, because if I recall correctly, what he said was that exclusive wasn't the point of buying them, that the point wasn't to get exclusives, which I think I kind of believe that. I think the point was to get another first-party studio, because that is one thing that Microsoft is lagging behind Sony on, is that they don't have the catalog of first-party studios. This is a huge first step in trying to build that portfolio for them.
100%. 100% agree with that. And from the little bit that I saw of Starfield, literally Elder Scrolls Online, but in space.
Very possibly.
That's exactly
We're not sure what it is yet.
But that's what the developers at Bethesda even came out and said just today at their E3 thing. They said, think of this as Elder Scrolls in space.
Didn't something else come out like an Elder Scrolls? But
we were just talking about it last night. Cinco, what was the?
But like Blade Runner.
It was something Ring.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
No, you're thinking more.
That's a fantasy thing.
Are you thinking Cyberpunk?
That was another big one that they're talking about.
Yeah. What's Elder Scrolls but Cyberpunk?
Starfield.
I think it's just Cyberpunk.
No, Starfield's not. Nope, it's not Cyberpunk.
No, but I mean, if I
dicks before the dick nerf.
They're yes, exactly.
So mad about that.
There you go.
So fucking mad about the dildos. I found two. I found 2 dildos in that first release of Cyberpunk until they patched them out. That was some bullshit. Yes.
Okay. What? Coming from somebody who really doesn't know what we're talking about, because I'm new to the whole gaming thing and whatnot anyway. What?
Yeah, right? That's where I'm at. Yeah.
So for the people that waited for this game and just like the whole hedonistic kind of theme of the game, the fact that was one thing that in all the previews they're like, yeah, this is NSFW.
The Tentacle Queen is in the chat.
You can't watch this if you're not 18.
To totally lay it out. There's a Cyberpunk game coming out. It is Cyberpunk the way that like Cyberpunk's supposed to be ever since Blade Runner. It's the franchise that defines Cyberpunk from that point on. And then they basically came out with like beat people with dildos.
Oh, are you talking about the original way back Cyberpunk tabletop?
No, I'm talking about the current iteration, the failed launch.
Oh yeah, that thing is terrible.
So bad. Everything was so bad that the only reason you would play the game was to go find a vibrating dildo and beat somebody else to death with it.
It didn't even have to be vibrating. I just wanted to find one. I didn't even care.
You could do that in real life if you actually want to.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You can do it in real life if you want to.
I have a screenshot.
Folks over here, like, I need that vibrating one.
It's not a video game. It's just a sad statement of your existence. Yes. And that's what that game became.
Yeah.
It really did. They screwed the pooch on that.
Although with how far CDPR fell,
Asia, there's a difference.
With how far CDPR fell after that, they may actually be undervalued as a company themselves.
They are severely. I'm not expecting big sales out of the next Witcher release at all.
Oh, I think you're wrong there. Witcher was strong for them, and I think that the people who are fans of that will pay the money for it. I think
not to mention the show.
And fan base will carry Witcher.
Yeah, there are companies that have screwed up far worse than that and still recovered.
No Man's Sky,
Activision.
Yeah, look at Activision. Activision is going strong. They have been a strong buy for a while now.
They've trimmed the fat.
A friend has tripled his money with them. But yeah, they are a good example, though, is that you can screw the pooch and still come back. And CDPR, after they released their whole company restructuring plan, I think that kind of hitting them, they've hit a bottom in their stock. I think that's they're going to be a company that comes back in a strong way. They may not have another good release. That depends on whether or not they fix their management issues. But
it's going to be on the shareholder side. Like the very, very top management at CDPR is where their problem came in. So that once they fixed that, I think that fixed itself actually, though, because after the shareholders saw the backlash of pushing this game before it was ready and skirting certain procedures that were in place to get it out faster and to a broader audience, once they saw the consequences of doing that, hopefully they all stepped back and went, maybe we shouldn't do that again. Maybe that was a bad idea.
We'll see. I would prefer to see a new management team in place personally. That's probably the strongest reason why I have not bought in, is because they still have the same personnel. But yeah, it's I think it's definitely undervalued at the moment.
So now with a brand new game with a ton of anticipation that fucked everybody just about and was an absolute flop, how's everybody feeling about the new Battlefield?
I think it looks stupid.
I'm about
This is why.
Let me hear it.
Console guys, right? The ones that spend a lot of money. Bingo. How much is that console? 500? Right? It's expensive.
Yeah, but I will get the full maps.
You will get the full maps?
Yep. It's the 1S's, the 1X's that won't get it. It's the old generations, not the new generations. So
what do you mean the full maps? I missed this.
Exactly.
Fill me in.
So console people are going to get smaller.
What is the $500 that I just heard of?
That's the new
for the
Xbox
Series X.
Series X Xbox, the new one that plays 4K, 120 FPS. It's the biggest, baddest console out, right? But so what's happening in the game?
Okay,
they're making the maps smaller for console players. They're cutting the amount of people in the lobby down. I don't know if it's graphic intensive and they're worried about having problems like Warzone, right?
Yes. So
Tech, thank you for the sub, sir.
Previous, I think it was Battlefield 4. There was crossplay, but the PC maps
are we talking about dildos?
Bigger. So basically, when you're on console, you got the center section of the map. So there was 25% both sides of the map that you just didn't see on console. And the players in the lobbies, there were less of them on the console side. But because of the new generations, they can support more. The other reason why that they're not doing like the whole 150, you have vehicles, you have Levolution is what they call it, where you can actually bring down buildings, bring down sections of buildings. All of that is just active material that's moving and taking more memory out of that server as it's going on.
Damn, sorry, I'm going to interrupt for just a half second here. Shout out to fucking Tax Stash for coming in with a tier 3 sub. What? What? A tier 3? Sir, I will not be eating ramen next month.
Way to go, Timber Tact. Way to be.
Timber Tact. Love it.
All right, so sometimes it works.
It worked. It works. It rhymes. I like it. It works. So with the new release on the consoles, on the next gen consoles, they'll get the full map.
Get the full maps. And that's because of the amount of resource that you have in the consoles. You're able to run the full maps with
that just seems
the vehicles. And
I feel bad for the folks that are stuck with the older consoles currently because the newer ones just aren't available. I get that. It fucking sucks. I'm sorry, Pat. Try Target. That's where I found my ass. But
Costco.
I think it might be time to think
$2 or $3 for a PC.
About. Well, there's a whole story behind that we're not going to get into right here.
If I'm going to fork out cash for a console, I'm going to fork out cash for a desktop, and I'm going to build it.
See, not everyone's about that life.
I'd rather spend. If I didn't
kind-
come
I
into the
kinda-
situation that I'm in,
Mm.
I would have
I kind of need something
gladly
that'll
gone
run
console.
Python better than my laptop. And my
Okay,
laptop's amazing.
that's
when I
different.
bear
You're doing
things down.
coding. You're doing coding.
That-
That's different. Can't do that on your. Well, I mean, you can, but not to the extent that you want to do it. So that I get. But I feel like we're
wanna
starting to
code
step into
and then
that.
put that onto the onto the console, not the other way around.
I feel like we're stepping into the realm of video gaming where at some point they're just going to have to say, fuck, we want to do this with this game. The last gen consoles will not support it. I'm sorry, last gen
Mine-
consoles.
That's
Doing
coming.
that with
Well,
Starfield.
there's
Starfield
Right.
is
Starfield is next
not
gen only.
releasing on last gen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time there's been a new generation of consoles, there's always been that breaking point.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. That
you
has
have to-
always
in-
happened.
Yeah, in the
100%
AAA titles,
always
there's always
happened.
that one.
At the speed at which these games are developing and the worlds that they're creating with these things, I feel like we're seeing that sooner rather than later. Now,
Well, look what a couple months ago they started talking about how coding's changing, and now instead of all those like weird loops that you would get,
Yeah.
now you can just level on top of level on top of level and not have a 30-second walkthrough just to load the next part of that world, because
Yep.
you could just keep cramming shit inside of the world
Those,
and actually make it fully.
non-loading screens where you were just crawling through a vent
Yeah.
to get to the next area. They
Yep.
were actually loading up that whole next area while you were doing that.
It was a slick
So-
way of doing it, though.
Yep.
I think
I think-
cloud-based gaming is going to really change things if they go
Absolutely.
forward with it.
I agree. 100%.
The cloud base is only going to be dependent on the data infrastructure. Oh shit.
I'm sorry. Mm,
It's a thing.
wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks, Mike. Welcome, Nas. But yeah, it's all going to be dependent on whether or not our internet can keep up with it. That's going to be the key. Because just because it's cloud based doesn't mean you're going to be able to play Cyberpunk on your TV through the cloud in fucking Minot, North Dakota.
100% already the case.
We definitely need great single player games though, because our
Mhm.
generations
Whoever,
grew up with single player
whoever
games
has
that
the-
were phenomenal.
yes, and a single player game, I'm like, that's how I judge games as a single player. Like, let's talk about the an elephant, not the elephant, but an elephant. In some room somewhere, Activision. Whoever has
Oh,
the
I thought
best
you were talking
ping,
about Dingo.
whoever has the best ping wins in a
Yes.
gunfight in Call of Duty. 100%. It is
Yes.
already who has the better internet connection.
Unless
Whoever
you're a
has the
shit
best
player
ping.
like me.
For the last 10
Unless you're a shit
years.
player like me, then you can have a great
You-
ping
Nope.
and just
You-
not hit
you
any of
can-
your shots.
Oh no. You can lose with a good ping. That's never been an issue.
Yeah.
You can always throw. I've got a straight flush on deal. Let me go ahead and give me 5 new cards. You could have done that.
Now, I want
forever.
to get books involved in this video game conversation a little bit. Harry
Where do you
Potter
play books?
Legacy
Ooh.
is coming soon, hopefully. I haven't heard a release date for it yet, but they've finally gotten over their issues with Rowling and her bullshit on Twitter, popping off at the mouth when she should not have been. She should have just been a quiet millionaire collecting her money, sitting in the back thinking whatever the fuck she wants. She didn't have to share any of her internal thoughts with the world, and it pushed Harry Potter Legacy
No.
way back.
She 100% couldn't have done that.
Here it comes, though. What do we do
She
now?
couldn't have done that.
Are you going to get into more gaming now, books with Harry Potter? You can be your own wizard.
I would like to. I do actually have the one console that I have is I have a Wii. It's archaic as shit, but I have a Wii.
That's all
And I
right.
do
Wii's are
have
still fun.
I do have the Harry
These
Potter
were the
Lego
best.
years 1 through 4.
Right.
And that is a lot of fun to play. And I would like to. Like, I think it would be a lot of fun. I don't know, I know nothing about the game that's coming out because, like I said, I'm new to the whole gaming community anyway. Like, you guys are what I do with gaming is I watch y'all play.
That's horrible. We are not a good
Sorry.
example.
Yeah, no.
Don't do
Well,
We
that.
should not be your
okay.
role models
You know
at
what?
all.
Okay.
Be quiet. Leave me alone. I'm trying. Okay.
Totally- If it's D&D, totally get into us. Everything else,
Yes. When it comes to other video game stuff, where your average consumer that just pays way more attention than they should to the whole thing is what it comes down to.
Oh,
Do
I'm
we have
sure.
insider information? Fuck no. We have insider information that we get from other people who have insider information, and then we absorb it through them.
I mean,
What?
you did bring a
As Deja just said, she didn't call
developer
us
in.
role models. She said she watches us.
Oh,
It is
fair.
very true.
Thanks,
Fair.
Deja. Thanks.
I
Deja.
don't aspire to be you
That's all-
shrubbery
that's all-
tree people. Okay.
Aw.
but then
Am I
NJ
one-
just
am I
brought
one
up a
of the
good
tree
point.
people?
You're Maple
Yeah.
Mike. Of course, you're one of the tree
Yeah,
people.
we've been over this. You're
That's how it
Maple
works.
Mike.
We've been
Well,
over
it's not-
this.
half
I'm
the time I'm a
working
fucking-
on.
I'm a
working
shrub.
on
I'm a tree.
games.
I'm a bush.
Well,
I don't know
okay.
what I am
It got
anymore.
how it started is you didn't want to be a tree because that was just scenery. Now you strive for treehood and not to be a shrub. So
Oh,
that's
he's
kinda
striving
how
to be
that
in the
works
hood.
out. So you want
Ooh.
to be a tree. You don't want to be a shrub.
You need to branch
So
I
out.
have a
NJ noticed a
question.
big thing. Oh,
What?
go ahead. What you got?
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
NJ noticed something big with the Ubisoft Forward, which was their big reveal on all the shit that they've got coming out.
yes.
They have a lot of cool stuff coming, like Far Cry 6. I'm actually excited to play that. I want to get into it. I like the recent Far Cry games, but where the fuck is Skull and Bones? Skull and Bones was supposed to be this pirate game that they've been talking about for almost a fucking decade.
Yeah.
Where is it? Nothing.
It's the
Sounds
D
like
team.
development hell.
It really is. It's at this point, a lot of people are saying it's vaporware. And for those that don't know what vaporware is it's just blah blah blah.
Could you
Oh my
imagine
God.
having
Have
to
your
redesign
AD.
that
Well,
continuously, though?
team. I'm dead. You've got your B team.
So,
It's-
so
B team,
yeah.
quick
and then you've
Googler.
got your
Quick Googler.
D team.
Joe the Google extraordinaire. What do you got?
Says that Skull and Bones
Bring
is
it.
set for March of 2022, supposedly.
Yeah, it was also set for March
Ooh.
of 19.
Well, you know, COVID.
Sure.
I know,
Yeah,
wrong
COVID
year,
fucked
but
us all over with everything, didn't it?
COVID pushes everything back a year,
So
and
the other
So technically, I'm turning
Double-sided.
35 then.
I'll get.
That's not how that
You're
one works.
about to turn
Unfortunately.
40.
no.
No,
the,
40.
The
You're about to
saying
turn
is
40,
COVID
and I'm about
29.
to turn 30.
God damn.
Deja asked if it's too late to join.
No, come on in.
Absolutely
Nonsense!
not.
It is
Come in,
not.
Queen.
If you have the Shandcast permission in the Discord, pop in here at any time. I will just resize the windows as we go. Not a problem at all.
Hmm.
We are 40 minutes in.
I was supposed to
Atomic
talking
Heart,
about Discord,
yes,
which
yes,
is
I saw that.
3 and 1.
And it's about to be 4 and 4 now.
I'm gonna be that guy though.
Is
because
it?
Two, 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 two.
I think some
Or
of
is
these
it gonna go
developers are going to
3-3-2,
use
which-
the.
If it goes 3-3-2, I will approve. But
I think some of these developers are going to be using the whole COVID thing. And yes, there's justified
Works.
reason to push things back. But because they're already like
Oh.
99%, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we have to push it back a year. Just to keep playing with the game again and do it, as opposed to like, oh,
Look at-
we could have
Look at
released
Top
it.
Gun. Look at Top Gun, the movie.
now,
It was
Top Gun.
90% filmed, and then they're like, oh yeah, we COVID.
oh,
COVID.
Top Gun.
Funny story
look
about
at
the Top
Dune.
Gun thing, though. The Dune, I can't wait to see that. But with Top Gun, there was a very specific reason they wanted it to premiere in
So number
theaters.
2.
What's number 2?
Number 1 is map. Number 2 is Dune.
Yeah. He's gonna go into Dune.
Oh, that's the second topic is the Dune thing. Okay.
He's got a
Yes.
tally of topics he wants
Yes,
to
okay.
talk about.
Let's talk
go,
about
man.
Top Gun real quick,
Yeah.
and then we'll segue into Dune because I'm curious about what you got for Dune because I'm looking forward to that movie myself. But
Mm,
Top Gun, they were
All
very
the stuff.
specific about it needs to be released in theaters because of one, how it was shot, how the audio was developed for it. Like they went above and beyond to make this a movie going experience. Not just a movie you go to see in the theaters, but an absolute experience. And it's not something that can be duplicated in everybody's home. So that's why they pushed it back and pushed it back and pushed it back. And it was supposed to come out on July 4th weekend. And now it's pushed back to Christmas or Thanksgiving. One of the weekends. I can't remember now.
My point was
mm,
developers doing that with games though.
Right.
Just
Right.
Because
So the developers are doing
Yes.
it with games, but
yeah.
And
I
it may not
understand
be
that there are
warranted.
some hurdles with that.
And
Top Gun had a valid reason. These developers, bro,
mm,
ship everybody their fucking work computers back to their house and plug that shit in. Figure it out.
I don't know if I'm buying the Top Gun had a valid reason. I mean, you can say all those words, but those are all words that I would say no matter what movie I was producing.
Cameron and Cruz went to a point of telling people how to set their TVs for top end brand new
Wow.
premiere movies
That was one
in
of
a
the things
YouTube. So
I worked at a movie theater, so like going in, you'd hear like the tail end, or I'd go in because I could watch movies for free when I worked there, and so it's like there were some definitely like just going from the difference of having like the ultrasound theater to one of our regular theaters. I've seen the same movie in both, and that sounds way different because you don't have the full Dolby Atmos surround sound,
Yep.
like feels like everything is around you. So I can kind of understand where they're coming from that viewpoint is they want you to experience that entire thing because it does actually make a lot of difference with some movies. Not all of them,
No.
but there are other ones where yeah, the types of cameras that they're using, the type of sound capture they're using, all of that does make a huge amount of difference specifically for those types of movies just to listen to and to watch that it's like if I come home and plug it on my chintzy little 32-inch screen that I have that does not have surround sound or any of
Yeah.
that, it's going to sound way different and so far off from what they wanted it to.
Right. From
guess
the
I
experience they
understand-
wanted you to
yeah.
feel.
Mhm. I get
Top
that
Gun
point, but-
in a Dolby Atmos theater is going to be different
Literally
than Toy
Cage in
Story
Cruise
in a
Control.
Dolby Atmos theater. Like,
I would hope so. I actually don't really care for
yeah,
that. movie
nobody gives a
anyway.
shit if they can hear Woody come flying from behind them,
No.
yelling, "Balls, rah!" But if I can't feel that F-18 in my seat and feel it and hear it coming from behind me to in front of me, the movie's not going to have the same impact. I'm going to be left on, I enjoy the story. It was
If
well
you've ever
shot.
been buzzed by a helicopter or plane or anything else like that, the feeling
It's mind-blowing.
Like you can't, yeah. I don't know how many times in like Borrego Springs down in the canyons and shit, we'll get the tester pilots that come turfing through there.
Yeah.
And you have a line of 30 Jeeps running, and all of a sudden you're right down the canyon. You're like, what the fuck was that? And then here comes the sonic boom right behind me. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
shit myself.
Yeah, growing up on Air Force bases, we would have every Air Force base had a perimeter road, and it would always go past one end of the flight line, one or the other. It didn't matter which one. And we would go as kids. What up, Missy? We would go and sit at the end of the runway because on Kadena we had fighter jets, we had fucking cargo planes, we had everything coming through there. So we would literally go and sit there and just lay on the hoods of our cars and let these things fly over the top of us as they're spiking their afterburners right at the very end of the runway and just fucking it's something that
So good.
cannot be fully described. You have to feel it. And I feel like that's what they were going for with Top Gun and wanted to make sure that everyone had an opportunity to experience that.
I think it'll remain to be seen. We'll we'll have to see what the experience actually is and whether they actually manage to capture that. Hello, Missy.
Hi.
Ladies and
Uh,
gentlemen, welcome to
but-
Late But Never Sorry About It, Deja Vu,
Always
aka
remember-
Tentacle Queen, aka Missy. What's happening, lady?
Hi.
She's
Okay,
going to-
so let me hear some words from you. Tell me about your day so I can get your volume levels right.
Okay. Well, I had today off.
Nice.
I didn't do anything. I shopped. That was it.
That's the
So-
kind of day I like.
What?
Mhm.
What did you shop for?
Nothing. Well, okay. So I scheduled a massage for next week. Or no,
Nothing,
2 weeks.
but
jealous.
You shopped for a massage. Nice.
Mm-hmm. I shopped.
Well, you got to
for
find
one.
the right
100%
person.
approval.
I carefully selected my candidates. Just kidding.
Whole
Free
screening
sample?
process.
Free sample.
you got to be careful with
Somebody
shopping
was
for nothing.
introduced as the tentacle queen. That's a
And which
statement.
type of lotions
They have-
did you provide?
They have to have more than 8 hands. That was the deal.
Mm.
Ah,
I
at
settled
Tai
on
Chi
someone with
Massage
12
Parlor,
tentacles.
we offer the 9-handed full body.
She had to find an orchestra.
An orchestra. And what kind of music will be played during our session? Will it be orchestral in nature?
Dude,
It's just
require
underwater
solo
noise.
work.
strings. That's what it's going to be.
It's just if you put like a microphone underwater and you just hear the water. That's it. Because
Looks, you can
tentacles,
play
right?
I was going to
Apocalyptic
say,
at
are we
any
listening
day.
to mermaids? Is that what's going on now? It's siren voices?
Mm.
Just
Is that
white
how-
noise.
Okay.
Is that how
I
that
guess.
works?
I could see that. I could totally
Or
see
like
that.
One of those float tanks, the saltwater float tanks, where you're just floating.
I couldn't do
Oh
that.
God.
Speakers in 'em.
I wish.
Or the
I-
ones
I
where you
couldn't
sit
do
in
it.
it blind. Is that
Adept-
is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sensory deprivation one. I did one once,
Mhm.
but I was high as hell, and I do it. It was
Mm-mm.
different. It was different.
I was in there with him, and it was just.
It was magical. It was different.
It was a whole new world, and no
I have
one else could
questions.
hear what
Definitely
happened.
felt things.
I have questions.
I don't think you want to ask those questions.
I'm
I had no
asking
idea.
these questions.
I
Were
promise.
you
I
both fully
want to
clothed?
ask.
No, of course not.
Of course
Of course
not.
not.
Why would they be?
Didn't want to
They were reverse
ruin
That's
the
That's how that
ambiance.
works.
No,
It's
exactly
heated to
what do you
it's heated
mean
to
by
your
fully
body
clothed?
temperature. Yeah,
Fully
it's heated to your
clothed.
body temperature, so like you become one with the water. So like
A
if you had
face
clothes on,
mask?
you're missing the experience.
We were wearing earplugs.
Hey, we heard it on Joe Rogan, so
Okay,
you know. It's
so
good.
you're slightly clothed.
You
Yes.
can hear the
Right.
screams, is what you mean.
Yes.
Hey, question.
My God.
I
What?
ran into a situation today. So
Okay.
streaming with a random on there,
Uh-huh.
and he somehow, some way said something along the lines of "COVID isn't real." Random. I forgot how it came. It was kind of random. But
Oh, I know
don't
exactly
really
who you're
want-
talking about, and I
You know
kind of
what I'm
want
talking
to
about?
find him.
Oh,
Yeah.
you actually commented on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Nos, the one that follows you, Dingo follows you now.
Yeah.
His dad is the one that died across the street from me
Yeah,
from
Of
COVID.
COVID.
Of COVID, right?
yeah. I made the connection when I saw the name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not to drop his name, but after talking to his mom.
And that's Ray's nephew, so you guys know.
Yeah,
Okay, so
actually
Nas
Ray's
is
nephew.
Ray's nephew,
Yeah.
and just recently lost his father to COVID.
True.
Got
yes.
you.
Yes.
All right.
So when that dude said that, I don't really want that type of shit on my stream, right? So
Well, it's simple. You just throw science back at them, and if they don't like it, they can bounce the fuck
Well,
out.
I'd rather not have. I don't want to have the conversation.
You
know
don't
what I mean?
Also
necessarily
true.
need to argue. I mean, I feel like you could feel free to shut somebody down. Just say, "Hey, that's not appropriate. We're on stream." And if they
Or
don't
just
listen, then fucking kick them.
or
And
just I
and
don't
a
wanna
very
talk about
simple,
that
and
on
I've done this
stream and-
before. Very simple. Just say, "Hey, man, not while I'm streaming. We're not going to talk about that kind of stuff here." And if they say,
And
"Well,
if you
I'm
can't
just
do that,
saying," you say, "All right, that's your first warning. You keep it up.
Go find another stream.
Mhm.
We're not going to game together anymore, man."
Yeah, I try to not
Plain
to
and
be
simple.
mean, you know, because
You
Well,
could try to spank him.
Yes, you could do that.
All right.
Only in a sensory
right.
deprivation tank.
Blindfolded. Yes, 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 yes.
You
Just
could
whip out
tie
the
his
tentacles,
hands
it'll be fine.
behind
Because
his
then nobody can
back,
hear it.
Fully.
at the small of his back.
No one can hear the screams. That's true.
Yeah.
The
So-
one
No
thing to keep in
screams,
mind and to always remember
squishing
though, Mike,
sounds.
is
I'm listening.
it is your
You seen
stream.
the squishing sounds?
These are
Yes.
your people.
It
This
is your
is your audience, what you're presenting to your community. If it's not something that you want to be doing that, you are well within your right. And if they get upset about that, that's fine. That's a
on them.
conversation for off stream if they're a friend of yours where you can explain to them like, "Hey bro,
Isn't it? Friend
just
of a
don't wanna
friend
do
of a
that.
friend type thing. You know what I mean?
even better," because then it makes it even easier. Like, "Hey bro, we're not going to talk about that here." And if they get defensive and go, "Why the fuck not?" Blah, blah, blah. Then you can go to your boy and say, "Hey, either get a hold of your boy, I'm going to bounce the both of you. I don't want to talk about that on my stream. It's plain and simple." And your buddy,
Makes sense.
if he's a real buddy, real friend, will be like, "I got you. Hey man, shut the fuck up." Plain and simple. I've had to
Makes
bounce
sense.
people out of streams before, which is why I don't play with randoms anymore.
I mean, I've watched Dingo bounce one the other day, right? Talking about the Cronus Zen.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. Okay.
Yeah. I have a Cronus.
just
Oh,
didn't
it's
wanna
for my
be-
daughter. Get the fuck out of here.
So most
Yeah.
rational adults, when you talk to them in that way, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, dude, I didn't mean anything by it." And then like, I'm not asking if you meant anything by it. We're just not going there anymore. It's done.
Right.
Don't even approach it anymore.
Yeah,
And if you do,
But
I'm
if you
gonna- I'm just gonna
continue
have to
pushing
avoid
the
you.
subject, you have every right to get the fuck out of my stream. Plain and simple. And
Nothing peaceful
swatting.
here.
NJ just brought up the topic of swatting. That's still happening. For those that don't
Yeah.
know what that is, do we all know what swatting is here?
Yep.
No,
Okay.
actually, I
18
don't.
people online.
I know what swatting is in law enforcement terms, but what are you referring to?
In gaming terms, it's the same concept. Basically, you call in a false 911 call to whoever
No.
you're targeting, to their local PD, and you say some of the most outrageous shit. Typically, it's, "I have a gun, I have hostages, I'm going to kill them and myself." At which point, the PD responds with SWAT team, hostage negotiator, crisis response teams, all kinds of shit up to these people's houses. And it's just some kid sitting there playing a video game who shit on you in a match, and you got mad, so you called the cops on him and made a false report.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And that's
Well,
called
they-
swatting.
that's-
Someone
they do that
actually
to-
died from this.
I mean,
They did that to Ninja.
Yeah, that's who it
Donut
was, Ninja.
operator. Donut operator.
Ninja, Donut,
Angry Cops.
XQC's had it. Tifu's had it done to him
XQC.
recently, actually. Tifu just
Angry
had it
Cops
done
was
to him
funny
2
when
months
that
ago.
happened. Yeah, it happened to Angry Cops twice in the same week, and he lives
Yeah.
in the district he works in.
Yeah.
So,
So they just
automatically
called
pinged
him.
because they're like, "Hey, bro, you good?" He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" They're like, "We got a call to the crack house." Is if you watch his videos,
Yeah.
the renovation house that he's doing, and he's just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys?" Put out like 3 videos about it because people are just assholes. Because he said something that offended somebody, about one of his review videos, and it hurt somebody that bad that they found out where he lived.
Yep.
Somehow.
These famous
and
guys
they
are
call that shit
lucky
in.
because they live in a district, and 9 times out of 10, if they're a veteran, they already know, hey, somebody's going to hate me for some of the shit I say, and I have a large audience. So they call their local PD and say, "Hey, if you ever get a call about this house, here's my phone number. Fucking call me first." But yeah, so that's what swatting is. And the fact that it's still happening, and happening to people that aren't even famous, they're just a person on the other end, and you find their IP, and you happen to locate their address because they didn't have their shit covered right. That's fucked up.
And as
I don't
NJ
like it.
said, people
Well,
died because of that.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. And maybe you should pay attention to what you say online. On
You
the
know
other
what?
side.
I could be the nicest guy in the world, but I just wrecked some fucking kid.
You could be the nicest person in the world and do that and get swatted.
Yep.
You could be the biggest dude and not.
Yep. So I
You could
try
be
to
the
be the
nozzle
biggest douche.
dude.
That way, if
Yeah,
it does
douche
happen,
ball.
I deserve it. But let's talk about this
and
Dune.
not-
I want to
and
talk about
not
Dune.
happen. Dude,
I want to segue into
dude,
Dune.
10
Dune. Because
That was a
10-1.
great
he's
segue.
like
Good
on
job.
the edge of his
First,
seat.
Nicely
He's
done.
like, Dune.
Because this is what I actually want to talk about. So
Let's
I'm
hear
going to go ahead and start talking now, and somebody's going to
Wait,
be like,
Pat, run away.
"Could you shut up and like talk about Dune?"
Dune.
So-
Oh, and there goes Joe. He's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Yep,
No,
uh-huh.
I have
Bill
a
News-
child issue to go take care of. I'll be right back.
Ah, gotcha.
Word.
It's a likely story.
So, Dune,
No,
So
I
what do you
love
got?
Bill
it, dude.
News-
No, I'm really disappointed. I have to go, but
You're a liar. I know
Dune.
you're a liar.
Every time he's
Dune.
been over to Pat's house, Pat's like, "You wanna watch Dune?"
Sandworms
He's like,
and
"No."
people having weird telekinetic sex. Let's hear about it. Dune.
What the fuck?
Oh, we
They
just heard about it.
don't
Go
do
to the
that
trailers.
in book one, and that's the thing. It's like Villeneuve's been talking about breaking the entire first book of Dune
Uh-huh.
into what Kilbert had written as 3 books. He's gonna do 2, maybe 3 movies of it, and it's so he's not going to tell the whole story in the first one, and I doubt that he's going to squeeze enough out unless he wants to do a Hobbit style ridiculous nonsense into doing
I
a
believe
full
he
3
does.
movies.
I'm actually gonna pull it up real quick
Can't.
because I'm curious.
What
Uh,
I think what I honestly think is going to happen, and this is something that COVID might
fuck, that's
save
loud.
us from. Did you just
What was
call me
that?
too loud?
No,
Excuse me.
I think 100%
Donnie
you just
resubbed,
did.
and it goes loud in my ear. Okay,
He's like, shut your ears then. Damn
when I'm
it.
not expecting it, it throws me off. All right,
Talking
Dune
about
2021 film.
sandworms, I will.
Yes, tell me more
Yes.
about these
So,
sandworms.
What
tentacles
I
of the
really
desert.
want is 2 movies of the first book,
Okay,
2 movies of the next 2 books instead of trying to expand it out into anything more. So
Can we
1
start
movie
doing that
per
with
book.
movies? Can we start doing that with movies instead of getting like a 3-hour long movie? Just break it into fucking 2 movies.
I don't mind a
I used
3-hour
to.
if it's a
I
good.
already
I
have
missed
done
an
that.
hour and a half movies, dude.
Oh my
Or
god!
do like an interval. in
No,
between.
like
Yeah.
the Dune,
Which
the
is
first
2
the
movies.
first book
I should have done with Harry Potter.
of Dune was
Right.
already set out to be 3 movies. And I'm really hoping that they scaled that back to be like, could we do that in 2? Because in 3 movies, it's not quite enough. 2 movies is almost not enough.
I'm trying
So
to
can
find
we
out
make
how
it 2?
long the first Dune movie was because I feel like it was like 4 hours.
And that's the other thing is you have some
The
movies that are theatrically, like you're leaving out a bunch of stuff. The people that are avid readers, like and fans of the book, they're like, "Oh, you missed this section," and you're looking for that.
that's a part of things, but
And then there's stuff where like you hit a good climax in the middle, where you can go into another on that cliffhanger. I'm like, "Oh, that's part 2,"
and
as opposed to 4
from
hours.
reading the
And why
book, reading the first book a good dozen times, really think that you could do a good movie out of the first half, a good movie out of the second half. Personal opinion, I'm not disavowing you, but that is my personal opinion. Like, break it into 2, and the second 2 books, you could totally squish them into 1. Sci-fi did that into 1, and it made sense. Like, you
Yes.
could take the next 2
Yeah.
books and put them into 1, or you could keep them as 2 separates. That's fine. You could either go like, I've got a 2 movie set or a 4 movie set. But if you go for 3, if you're trying for a trilogy,
They're already writing the
it's
sequel.
trilogy or a quadrilogy. It's one of the 2. You
Gotcha.
can't go for the trilogy.
Now
Trilogies are it's
here's
a
the
bad
cast. This is a fucking
form. The cast
amazing
is
lineup.
fantastic.
Timothy
Yeah, the
Chalamet,
lineup of the cast is
Rebecca
great.
Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, Stephen
He is
McKinley
in
Henderson,
So much stuff.
Aaron
now.
Rabon.
He's been busy lately.
Well,
Zendaya.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's
I
Chang
thought that was
Chen.
her. I
Aaron
started watching
Rabon.
the trailer and I was like,
and-
"Is that Zendaya?"
It is.
He can
Yeah.
do he could do a Rabon like
Sharon Duncan
think he can
Brewster.
actually pull off correctly.
Dude, yeah,
Charlotte
this movie is
One role that
Rampling.
I don't know about.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, there's
buddy.
there's very few
And-
movies that are justified to go 3 hours though.
Ladies, I'm gonna give you guys a fair warning before I say this one. If you need to put a towel down, do that now.
Let me
Give you
get
a
my
few seconds.
wallet in
Oh.
reaching distance. Hang on. hang on, hang on.
I'm in the movie.
What a
Okay.
dick.
Okay. It's
Okay,
right there.
are we ready?
I know where it is. Yep.
Are we ready?
Oh,
Okay,
so we're gonna shit ourselves. Got it.
Jason
ahead.
Momoa.
Mike's in the movie.
Jason
I'm in the
Momoa.
movie. Who? Who's that?
got
She
my wallet.
clutches her wallet.
Wait. Is that the new
I got
wallet?
my wallet.
It's it's
That's the new one.
Aquafina.
Is that Michael
Yeah.
Kors?
Mm-hmm.
It's Aquafina, right? Michael Kors, really? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Not Aquafina,
Cute.
Aquaman. Jason Momoa.
Hey, Aquafina is a completely different person.
Yes.
Wait, that's
Aquaman.
that's the
very-
person. I
That's
thought
the
it was a-
water.
I thought
Yeah,
it
no,
was a water.
Aquafina is, I don't know her actual, like her real name, but
I
she's a.
think that's her
she's
actual
a
name.
Comedic. Is
Let me-
it? I thought there was.
I think she changed it to
It's-
that.
That's
Okay, that
me.
might
Remember
be
using
it.
that as a
It's
as a stage name?
It's me because I'm thirsty.
Oh god.
I mean,
it's me because I'm thirsty. Did someone say
Thirst is
Jason
real.
Momoa?
Yep.
Someone say Channing Tatum? What?
I gotta
so
find out what
Dune's
her
coming
real-
out.
I'd smash.
We covered a little bit of
Channing Tatum.
E3.
Harkonnen?
We talked about some Top Gun.
No
we
idea.
talked about some stocks.
He was,
talked
he was
about-
Conan.
A lot of shit. Yeah,
Jason
that's
Momoa
right.
was Conan.
In the Conan revival. That was his
Yes.
first big break.
And if you're thirsty and haven't seen it,
Go see it.
yes,
Go
he's
see it.
shirtless the whole time.
Yep.
For you
Ladies,
ladies
go see that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I can just look up.
Isn't he
images of
shirtless
him
most of the
shirtless.
time?
he's one of
Calvin
those. He's
Klein
almost.
models.
He's almost too big. You know, like he's just such a huge person and a huge presence that I'm like,
Person.
yeah,
Person. Got it. Got it. Person.
Okay,
Well-
okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad I wasn't the only
Mhm.
one. We were
Person.
all like,
no. Okay, you know what?
He's
I
almost
realized
too
it because I was
big.
saying it, and I figured I should
She
keep
said
going
person.
to make it actually make sense. Get your minds out of the gutter, okay?
Whoa.
Negative.
Who
No,
went
no,
away?
no, no.
My
Like,
mind would
the
be
gutter's
homeless.
too
I was gonna say,
far.
you're
All the way
surrounded by a bunch of
outside.
guys here. Like,
I mean, you'd think I'd be used to it. When I was living in Iowa, it was
Never
pretty
mind
much
the two
all
queens.
dudes except for me and my sister. So
Surrounded by a bunch of guys. Fine.
I'm used to that. I should be
Oh my
used to
God.
that.
Deja, you're
Yeah,
half
my
guy
wallet.
right now.
Hmm?
I mean, full
right
disclosure,
here.
right? I'm gonna put it out there. Busted ass the other day playing video games. She took the heat from Cinco. She's like, it was me. You know what I mean?
Huh?
So, half guy for sure.
Who? What happened?
When did that happen?
What? What do you
Yeah,
mean?
when she ripped us on stream the other night.
Huh?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
was it
that's
you,
right.
Dingo?
No, it wasn't me.
Wasn't me either. I thought it was you, Mike.
What
No.
happened?
It was
So
Deja.
it was Deja.
Who ripped ass in the middle of a match?
She claimed it.
Are you
It was
sure?
hers.
It was all of you at once.
That was you.
Probably. It was like
Yeah,
a
we-
collective pop, pop,
We all
pop, pop.
just synced up.
Women,
It was-
yeah, women
it
sink
was-
their periods, men sink their farts.
Men
No,
stink their
it,
fart.
it was literally this. It was
I buy that.
It was- I reached for my mic. Sorry.
All right, so guys, are you ready for our 8:15 fart?
I
Oh
feel
my
left
word.
out.
All right, 3,
Yeah.
send it.
2, 1.
Okay. No, I feel like you guys.
Oh wait,
There we go.
I-
That's nice.
Oh.
Text message.
Mine was nice. Did
I
my mic
actually
pick it
didn't
up?
know.
I might have to adjust the noise gate on my microphone then. All right.
Pat was
The
there
men's
for it.
farts are synced. So that was a
Oh,
full
yeah.
hour at least of
That's
us
over,
talking a
and
bunch
we're
of
good.
bullshit, and I dig it. Even with Missy popping in late, that's okay. We covered a lot of topics. I appreciate it.
In
I'm
2 weeks, I'll
thinking-
know more about Dune.
Yeah, let's do some more
That's
research
saying
on Dune.
something.
I like this gathering of minds. We've got all kinds of different people from all walks of life and backgrounds that all share common interests, which I think is fucking great. And then there's Dingo, but it's cool because we like him, and he's a nice guy. And
You're just saying he's a jack of all
He's
trades.
wholesome.
He is truly
And
a
He's
He
bard.
keeps us
wholesome.
wholesome.
he is the
I mean,
cod
Donnie
daddy.
sits in the corner, makes
Is that,
notes, and
is that your mini
especially
fridge in the
sings
back right there?
tales.
What is that? Your mini fridge in the back? Yes, that.
Yeah.
What?
That's going to
I
be
thought you were talking
replaced by
about
that
Two
Xbox mini fridge, huh?
Oh
You
no,
see that?
the Xbox one's gonna go on top.
You see that right there?
I'm gonna build.
Are we
Remy.
just pointing out
Really
random
safe
shit in our background?
box.
I have a Hufflepuff flag.
I knew you were a Hufflepuff.
That one.
Of course I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm a fucking badger, bro.
There we go.
100%.
There's my one thing in the background that I'm most proud about.
That's a
I
50
also have
cal
movie posters
muzzle loader.
all around, so that's really fun. That one's Captain
Nice.
Marvel.
Donnie, what is that up on the wall, Donnie?
This one right here,
Yeah.
John Wayne.
my original Frank
TV.
Frazetta print, Death Dealer.
Oh. So I don't know if all of you know this, but Donnie is probably the premier collector of old stuff that makes you go, fuck, that's got to be worth a lot of money. Where did you find that? So
Got
Yeah.
the complete collected works of Robert Louis Stevenson right here.
all
It's
of them.
a 1901 set, I think.
Fucking madness. One of these days, we're going to break down and have everybody show off their favorite
And Rob
oldest
Don's
thing.
place.
And then we're going to go rob Donnie's house. Yeah.
We're planning the layout of your house right now, Donnie.
My
Yeah, so,
favorite
We're
one.
go
gonna
ahead
need you
and
to
grab
take
that
your
camera.
webcam, show us
Yes.
around.
We
Or-
are
Yeah.
planning
all the things.
currently, not already have been done. Yes, that.
for clear eyes.
Visine? What?
Yes.
You're
Fucking
amazing.
Tahini.
You don't put that in your eyes, Mike.
Christ, Mike.
That's not for clear eyes, sir.
Is
I
that
do
why
have-
you're
Oh,
always
fucking
running
hell.
blindly into danger?
I do have a sig
my
next
God.
to me.
You're
too,
like-
Steve-O.
No, and
I have
the
a-
cuteness.
I have a Sig Sire sitting next
Pictures
to me
of the
too. Steve-O.
cuteness.
Good
My
Lord.
little Hedwig.
So while these yahoos continue to talk and do their thing, I'm going to go ahead and segue out of here and call it for the night, just because I think an hour is good for the first Shandcast. If anyone would care to stick around for a little bit, I'm going to roll into some Call of Duty because I feel like gaming tonight. So I want to thank everyone for popping in and have a wonderful fucking evening. Shandcast out.